were recruiting defensive guys to one scheme, obviously, and then that potentially changed, obviously, here in the last month or so. Did that change the kind of guys you went after defensively in the last month or so?
A little bit. Thought there was we wanted some more edge rush guys, which playing, we're going to go to, more of a 3-4 scheme than the stack. The stack, you're playing with a lot of middle linebacker type bodies, which we have a lot of those on campus as well. Needed to be able to get some outside linebacker type guys that are able to gain weight and be able to come down and be defensive end guys and come off the field and rush. So, we got, 2 or 3 of those bodies that we were looking for as far as being the outside guys.
What did you identify as your biggest needs in this class, and do you feel like you guys addressed those?
Shoot, you need everything. I mean, if you can put if I ask each one of these position coaches, how many guys do they need to add to their room, they're going to tell me probably 2 to 3 more than we can per position than we can actually sign. So, I don't know. We felt like we needed a little bit of everything, and was able to get a little bit of everything. So, I don't think it's one specific area that we wanted to get, as opposed to just making sure we hit all areas. And recruiting is not an exact science to the point to where, at the end you're not going to be able to pinpoint exactly what your numbers are. You send out a bunch of letters, and you get back what you get back, and you got to make that work.
Coach, what's your total number of scholarships right now?
It's probably right now in the spring we got 60 or 61, somewhere like that. What's that?
You have some vacancies then.
Yeah, have had.
I mean, you can still take some more.
Yeah, can you find us some? They're hard to find.
Of course, I remember when you had 45.
Nah.
Back in the 50s.
Ooh, yeah, that'd be tough. Yeah. So we're up to about with adding the five guys. I think that's right. Isn't that right, Dor? We're at about 60. We're at 61 right now, which means we can add 25 in the fall. Considering we keep everybody, which that's all about the retention aspect of things. Which, if all 60 of those guys continue to get into that weight room and work hard and do a good job in the classroom, and our retention is good, and then the 20-some guys that we add, will be somewhere around 80. But we may add a few, we may lose a few. You never know what's going to happen.
Do you pay any attention to how your class is rated by the people that do such things, and do you pay attention to how they rate players, or 3 stars?
Not nearly as much as you do, probably. Yeah, we don't. I mean, it's a good starting point, a good reference. I mean, you get on the internet and you watch the various TV shows and the reports on it, and obviously we're like everybody else. We want people to say good things about what our body of work is, but the truth of the matter is we're not going to know how these guys fare here until a couple of years anyway. There'll be a handful of them come in and make a difference next year. There'll be a handful that will take a few years, 2 or 3 years, before they're able to contribute, and then there'll probably be a couple that we sign that are never going to be as big of a contributor as we want them to be. That's just the nature of what you sign and how these kids develop. They're still 17, 18, 19 years old, to the point to where we don't know how they're going to develop totally. We try to do our best and fit, meet our needs, but then it's about getting them in here and paying them a whole bunch of attention. The 5 guys that I pay attention more on this list are the 5 guys that are here. Those are the most important 5 to us right now, because they're in here and they're working out every day, and we're able to spend time with them and keep up with their academics and get in the film room. Those are the 5 guys that we as coaches, will pay the most attention to over the next couple of months. And then when the rest of these guys get here in June, then it comes, their turn to be able to spend a whole lot of time with them and try to develop them.
How do you project in your own mind a kid that you see that there might be another player on his team, same position, that's even better than him, but how do you manage to project him 3 years from now compared to what you see in front of you?
Well, you don't totally. I mean, you get his body type and the position he plays and what you see on film and what you think they're gonna develop into, but you don't know if they're gonna get bigger and change positions or develop their skills, or how much they're going to develop their skills. It's a bit of a guessing game. We're all aware of that.
You mentioned the impact of the Orange Bowl. Obviously, with the number of guys you got from Florida, you can kind of see it there. Were you surprised at how well you guys did in Florida, and how many of those guys were able to attend the game, and how do you feel about your job down there? And
good. Robert Gillespie did a great job down in South Florida. And Shannon Dawson took over some of the Central Florida kids and did a good job prior to the bowl game and after the bowl game. So West Virginia's always done well in Florida, and by us being able to make it a priority, get some guys down there that we're working it pretty hard, and be able to be down there for a good bit of time, and the exposure that we got down there, I certainly don't think hurt.
How difficult has this last month or so been recruiting coaches at the same time you're trying to finishing up the class and not having a full staff for the last month?
Yeah, not having the full staff hurts you a little bit. Like I said, I think these guys came in and did a good job. And Joe DeForest, being able to add him with his recruiting background, especially as many years as he's been doing it, was able to get in front of a lot of the defensive guys and tell them about what the future is going to be about. So, this is the second year in a row that we haven't had a full staff, which, it is what it is. It just that's the reality of college football at times, and everybody else has got to deal with it too. So we're certainly not making excuses for anything, but retention's good on the coaching staff, and if we're able to keep everybody and get everybody going in the right direction, and then it might be a little easier next year, but each year is a different year.
Conference change affect recruiting, or do you just get guys that can fit in your system?
It can help. I think everybody's pretty excited about going to the Big 12 at some point here. We're all anxiously awaiting the decisions. I'm aware of that, but to be able to be the Big 12 is widely regarded as one of the better conferences out there. We're aware of that, and we're excited about where that's going to take us. And but we have made a conscious effort to make sure that we continue to take care of what's made West Virginia good for quite a while, which is recruit the surrounding states. Recruit West Virginia first, but then recruit the surrounding states, and then get into Florida, and then use the contacts that exist to be able to move west slightly.
Kind of feeding off of that, you got one player from Texas a year ago in Millard. Now you got four. Do you expect those numbers to continue to grow as more and more kids come from those areas?
Probably slightly. I mean, they won't continue to grow every year. You got a ceiling, which we got two last year. One happened to start for us for the majority of the year. Yeah. How can you forget about him? Geez, just because he didn't play in the bowl game, that's unfair. But and then we got four this year. I mean, it's a priority. We're going to go there. We get guys from Houston and Dallas and surrounding those two metropolitan areas that call us all the time. It's got to be a good fit, and there's got to be a reason for us to do that. We do, we try to do the best that we can to find the right guy for the position, right guy for the scholarship, and then we make sure that they're wanting to come up here as well. So I don't know how many you can get. We don't put a number on it. We settled with four because those are the four that we wanted.
How different is this day for you as a head coach as opposed to being an assistant?
It's the same thing. You wake up, you make calls, you anxiously await it to be over, and you get the letters of intent, so you know it's final, and then you start watching next year's kids, which is what we've been doing pretty much the whole day.
Last year, will you go up until April 1st and maybe see what settles today and who's still out there?
Yeah, probably. That never stops. That never stops. I mean, we still got a couple of open spots for 2012. So we will continue to look to see if something becomes available, much like we did last year. When we brought in, we brought in a couple of seniors, that had to be a part of the class, a couple of transfers, that sort of thing. So if a transfer kid comes available that fits a need, then we can continue to add. If high school, junior college kids can continue to pop up and it fits a need, then we'll be more than happy to have them.
With a lot of guys that you mentioned, you talked about their high school success, winning a lot of games. Do you feel like those teams are winning a lot of games because of the talent of the guys you're bringing in, or do you feel like it's important that their high school teams were successful because that translates at the next level?
It's a very loaded question, isn't it? Yes. Yeah. Both. I mean, good programs develop players, and those programs that I'm not just referring to the 3 schools in Texas. You take teams like Miami Central, who are close to winning a state championship. Miramar was close to winning a state championship. Miami Central was close to winning a state championship. Shoot, there's a lot of schools that were good programs that develop players. So, and I don't think those guys are done developing as well. It's what I just made reference to. I think once those guys get here, that's when our job truly kicks in, and we got to see how we can develop. And you want to recruit kids to get the best possible players that you can in here, but then you don't quit. You don't quit with them. That's just when your job starts. And it's not all about just throwing good players out there. It's about coaching them and developing them to the point to where they continue to get better.
When do you make your decision on who to redshirt out of this class and who not to redshirt?
About a week before the first game. Same as we did last week. I mean, we get as many kids as we can in here and fill your roster up with as many good players as you can. You line up in August and you start practice, and about 20-some practices later is when you make that decision. And we've been very clear with all those guys to, don't worry about redshirt and don't worry about whether you are or whether you aren't going to be able to participate next year. You need to come in. You need to have a great summer, which we expect all of them here. If they're not here now, we expect them all in here about June 10th. And then once they go through 9 weeks of summer strength and conditioning and get out there and do a bunch of 7-on-7 stuff and stuff, on their own to learn from some of their older kids. And we line up in August and we practice the heck out of them for 3 weeks prior to figuring out if they're going to help us or not.
Was it different being head coach recruiting as a closer rather than as an assistant coach and doing the sales job, maybe?
Well, it's not really. You still try to get a bunch of guys to develop relationships with the kids. So it's not always just the area coach. But the head coach still got to call and make contact and go see them, and other coaches, whether it's O coordinator, D coordinator, O-line coach going into another area. Once you narrow the list down, you try to get a bunch of people that develop relationships with them. So it's busy and it's ongoing and it never stops until today. So a lot of these guys behind you all back here worked a lot harder than I did at it, but you still it's a group effort to the point you want to get as many people involved as you can.
You spent the last few years working with other kids, kids that you kind of were already on campus and you taught them your system. Moving forward here, you're going to have your own guys. Is there a difference? I mean, can you show more with guys that, you made promises to or whatever?
No, I don't buy into that. We would never use that as an excuse. You take what you got. You got a year to work with them. You take what you got. You develop them. You play them. Put them in position. You try to get the very most out of them. This year's team is going to be different than last year's team. We put, about a month and a half ago, which was approximately a week after the bowl game, or a week and a half after the bowl game, we sat in here as the 2012 team and talked about what the 2012 team needs to do. Yeah, didn't mention anything about the 2011 team. It's all about the 2012 team. And then you add specific pieces of that puzzle, which 5 of the guys that were already here were in here. And then you get another 20 that add to it. And when it's time to add to it, you add to it. But in the meantime, you take what you got and you do the very best you can to make them better.